Today happens to be the 16th class. I'm going to start with the second module in which I'm going to teach you about HTML tables, what is the meaning of forms. Then we will see some of the tags which are required for the tables, and then we will see form controls. Okay, and then what is the meaning of accessing form elements. Then we will see what is micro formats finally. Okay, so what is the meaning of a table in HTML on a web page? We have studied first how to create HTML web pages, simple pages, how to place paragraphs, how to place images, how to place links to go from one page to another page, to navigate basically from one page to another page using hyperlinks. We have seen all these concepts. Now we will be doing a little advanced concept of HTML where we will be learning what is the meaning of a table. When do we need a table in HTML? Whenever you need to display tabular data. What is the meaning of a tabular data? Data which has got rows and columns. Basically, you can visualize that as a database table. In a database table, what do we have? We have columns and then we have rows, we have records. So in any situation on a web page, you need to display a table like structure. We use HTML tables. To create a table, it is quite simple. How to create a table is quite simple. For example, let us say this is the type of table that I want to create, okay, where it has got how many columns? These are columns, by the way. Remember, these are columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are columns. 5 columns are there. And how many rows are there? 1, 2. 2 rows are there. So this table here, this example of a table here has got 5 columns and 2 rows. 5 columns and 2 rows. How to create this table? It's quite simple. Whenever you want to place a table inside a HTML page, you have to start with a table tag. Remember, you have to always start with a table tag. You have to start with a table tag. And once you start with the table tag, then inside the table you have a row. Okay, inside the table you have a row. So this entire, all the way from here to here, is one row. How many columns are there in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns in each row. So the row starts by using the TR tab. Okay, the TR tab is a table row tag. So introduce that, write that after the table tag. So the first row starts, and then inside that each cell, this is one cell, this is another cell, third, fourth, and fifth cell. 5 cells are there in each table row. So you want to introduce this particular cell here, you have to start with the TD tag, table data. TD tag stands for table data tag. Okay, so for each cell you need to have a TD and /TD. So this closes the tag, the cell. So the TR tag starts. Next, inside that you should have a TD tag because the TD belongs to the TR. Whatever you want to write inside the table, you can write it down like this, the depth of Mara. And then after that /TD. So you want to close this cell, so it is /TD. Then you want to /1, you want to start one more cell, so another TD inside that, the name of whatever you want to write inside the table, you should write that. And then /TD again, this also closes. So one more TD, table data. Inside that you've written 1793, and then after that /TD to close that cell. After that you write 162 centimeters TD/TD. So all together, how many TDs you have in this TR? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 TDs you have in this TR. So you can see in each TR. And after that the TR closes. After that the TR closes. The TR closes because this is the end of one row. This entire thing all the way from here to here. Okay. From here to here, this is one TR. Okay, all the way from here to here is one TR. That is how we write it. Then you want to write one more TR like this. Down here you want to write one more TR, this one. So for that you should start one more TR tag, inside that one more TD, and so on. So I hope you understood how to have the table tag. So you start with the table tag, TR for the first row, TR for the then you have the /TR. Inside that you have so many TDs. Then you have one more TR, table row, all this table data. Then you have /TR, and finally the table closes by /table. The table closes by /table. If you want me to show you this, I'll just copy this and then I will open. Okay, so I will just open a file here, test, or else I'll create a new HTML so you know how to start HTML. So we write HTML, then we write the body tag, and then I just copy the entire table tag /body and then HTML. So basically you understood now. Why do I do like this is because, you know, the code becomes a little more readable. The code becomes readable when we do it like this. So that's why, you know, we write it like this. I want to save this in the D drive, in the web, and then I want to save the file. Okay, so I'll call this as table example.html, table example.html. So I saved this program. So when I go to the web, so you can see here table example.html. So when I double click on that, it opens up, and then you can see that this appears like a table. Now remember, you must be thinking that why is that, where is the border gone? The border is not there. Okay, the border will come when you specify the border thickness. Otherwise remember, this is a table only. This is a table. You will see that it is not being displayed like a table. Why it is not being displayed like a table is because I've not set the border to this. If I set the border, it will come. But of course, this is in the first TD, this is in the second TD, this is in the third TD, fourth and fifth TD, first, second, third, so on. So this is like a table only. If in case you want to give it a border, then in the table tag here, in the table tag there, you have to say a border is equals to, just specify the thickness. Okay, border is equals to 1. If I write there, then hopefully it will come. So if I go there and refresh, now you can see that it appears like a table, and you can clearly see the border of the table. Okay, so you have to mention here in the table border is equals to 2. If I say border is equals to 5, if I save the program, come here and refresh, then you can see that the border is a little thick, so you can actually specify the thickness of the table and so on. If you want this table to come in the center, then you know what to do. So you put the center tag just above, you put the center tag just above the table tag, and after the table tag you close the center tag. Okay, you close the center tag like that. So you place the table tag between the center tag, and hopefully this should come in the center. Yeah, you can see that it comes in the center. So now by this you must have understood how to create tables, how to place them on HTML files, how to place them in the center and so on, how to give the border, what data to write inside this. If you want one more, what will happen if I do this? Can you just tell me if I open this with Sublime, and then here if I copy these two TR, and then if I put 2 more TRs here. So what I did, one TR from here to here, another TR from here to here, one more TR from here to here, one more TR. So I copied and pasted 2 more. I saved it. I came here, I refreshed. So you can see this. You can see that, you know, 2 more rows are added and so on. This is how tables has to be created. Once the tables are created, then let us go further and study the future, the advanced part of the tables. So this is about the tables, basic structure of a table. Yeah, next is very important from examinations point of view. What is the meaning of spanning rows and columns? Spanning rows and columns. What is the meaning of this is, if at all, let us say you want to merge, let us say merge, let us say you want to merge multiple cells. You want to merge multiple cells of a table. You want to merge them. For example, you want to merge these two. You want to merge the title and the artist. You want to merge them. Okay. So in that case, we use RowSpan and columnspan. But before I start with RowSpan and columnspan, one more thing I want to tell you that, look at this particular table here. Okay, this table has got a heading here. This table has got a heading here, and then comes the data in the table. First, you have heading here. Okay, you have heading there. So if you want to place heading in the table, this is as it is. The output of that is there. If you want to place a heading, remember that you have a th tag also. You have a th, table heading tag. Okay, you have a table heading tag. Inside this, you can write the headings. Okay, if you want headings to come to the table, you know that the table tag starts here. Inside that you have the tr tag, but before the tr tag, add one th tag. What is this th tag? The th tag should have td tags. Okay, same, just like tr only, but the only difference between the th tag and the tr tag is that whatever you display in the td, which is inside tr tag, will be displayed with normal font. it will not be bold, but whatever you place inside the TD, which is inside TH tag, will be displayed bold. Okay, so if you want this to come as a name, let us say you want to display name as a heading of the column. Let us say you want to put age and then year and then something like this. Okay, I'm just writing something, okay, which I want to appear like headings. Okay, so where I put it into the TH tag. So I go there, I save the program, I come here and I refresh. So when I refresh, you can see that this appears like the heading. You can see that this appears like a heading. And one more thing is that I think I forgot something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. TH tag 2, 3, 4, 5. Why is it coming from there? There is some small mistake I think I must have done. Let us go here and see the example which is given here. So it starts like this. Sorry, no. I'm sorry, it is my mistake. It should be TR and then inside that it should be TH. Okay, please remember this should be TR only. This should be TR only and this should be TH, not TD. This should be table heading. TD will get replaced with table heading. Okay, my mistake. So TR should start as usual. TR should start as usual, table row, and inside, instead of TD, we write TH, table heading. Instead of TD, we write TH, that is a table heading. I saved the program and then I came here, I refreshed. Now you can see that they appear bold, and so on. So if you want a heading to the table, you always start it with the TR tag and inside that write TH, table heading. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now let us go further and try to understand what is the meaning of row span and column span. Very important from examinations point of view. Now I'll just show you the output of this row span. Yeah, this is how it should look like. This is the example for row span and column span. Let us say I have a table like this where I have 1, 2, and 3 columns. 1, 2, and 3 columns I have. And then the next row, actually this should be the row, no? 1, 2, 3, this should be the next row. This should be the third row. This should be the fourth row. But you can see that this particular column here, the 3 cells in this column, are merged. They are merged, and in that cell, what do we write is we write some data. So if you want to merge rows, we use the RowSpan attribute. The RowSpan attribute is used for merging rows, cells of rows. Okay, so if I say RowSpan is 3, it will merge 3 cells. Okay, so this is how you merge rows. If I want to merge this column, then I use column span. Row span is used for merging rows. Column span is used for merging columns. This is an example of merging rows. Okay, so I have to write TD, row span is 3. Now this is also quite easy. Okay, now an example for this is, the example for this particular output is that, okay, we have a table tag like this. The table starts, you can see the table starts, then inside that the TR, the table row starts, then you have the table heading that starts. Inside that you write artist, then you write title, and then you write the year. So you have artist, title, and year. So this particular row is over. So the first row that you see here is over by adding this TR tag here, and then you have the TH tags here because that is a heading. So from here to here, no problem. It is quite simple. It has got 3 columns, 3 cells inside the TR tag. Next, after that, look at this. The second row, when you're planning to add the second row, when you see, okay, we start the second row. Inside that, we want to merge the first 3 cells. So we write TD, and inside that TD, we write row span is equals to 3 because we want to merge 3 rows here. So we write TD row span is equals to 3, and then we write the data that you want to get displayed inside it. So I write Jack Lewis David. So I write that, and then I say /TD. Now what will this row span do is it will merge 3 rows, and then it will give me that as a single row. And then whatever data I display in between that will get displayed there. And then after that, you want something here, no? depth of Mara, you want that. So you can say TD, depth of Mara, TD, one more TD, 1793, 1793. So these two will come here, TD and TD. Then after this, what about these two? What about these two? This one, 1799, and the intervention of Sabine woman. What about these two? This. So that for that, now you have to add one more table row. You have to add one more table row like this, and then you have to add the two TDs. Two TDs you have to add, and then slash TR. So please remember that in your table, in any situation, sometimes you might want to merge rows, sometimes you want to merge columns. We make use of this particular syntax. We start the table tag as usual. Okay, so before you start writing the HTML code for this, you should know exactly how many rows you want, how many columns you want, how many rows, where you want to merge them, and so on. You should have an idea of that. Okay, it's better if you can draw that on a piece of paper, and then you can start writing the code for that. It becomes easy like that. Okay, so now that I want to draw a table like this, I want the first row to come normally, no problem. There is TR, one TD, second TD, third TD. So you can see TR, TD or TH. Yeah, of course, this I wanted as TH. So I read 3 TH here, artist, title, and here, and then I close the TR tag. So this is over. So this first row is over by this. Next, after that, I want to merge 3, then I want to write the death of Mara, and then 1793. So I write TR, then I TD RowSpan. I want to merge rows, so that's why RowSpan 3. If I say RowSpan 2, only 2 will be merged. Remember, only 2 rows will be merged. You will actually see a line over there. You will see a line over there because that becomes the third row. Only 2 I have merged. But since I have written 3 here, 3 rows will be merged. And inside that, what should I write? Jack Lewis David, then TD, one more TD, two TDs, that of Mara and 1793. Then one more TR will start, TD, the intervention of Sabine woman, and then 1799. And then one more TR you need for the third one, Napoleon crossing the Alps. So Napoleon crossing the Alps, one more TR. Only 2 TDs will be there. Only 2 TDs will be there because the first one you have already merged. Only 2 TDs will be there. So this is an example of an example of row span, how you merge rows. Very simple. And remember, this is important from your examinations point of view. Similarly, you also have something called as column span. Okay, when does the column span come into picture? Whenever you want to merge columns, you use column span. Okay, now let us take an example. I think that example is there on the top somewhere. Yeah, you can see it is here. You can see that this is an example of a column span. You have this table tag. This first row, I'm merging 2 columns. You can see that the last one I'm merging. So 1, 2, 3 is normal. After that, I want to merge 2 columns here. I want to merge 2 columns here. Okay, so how do we write a program for that? We write it very simple. We start the table tag, then we start the TR tag. Okay, the TH tag should contain title, artist, year. Now the third one, after this TH comes as usual. The last one I want to merge, so I write TH, column span, COLSPAN. Column span is equals to 2. Why do I write 2 here? Because I want to merge 2 columns. Okay, I want to merge 2 columns, so that's why I write column span is equals to 2. Then I write size, width into height, so you can see whatever you want to display in that will come there as it is. So size, width into height will come there. That's it now. That's it. Now, how many you have here inside this TR tag? 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have 4. But in the next TR, you cannot have 4 because only in the first TR you have merged the 2. In the second TR, you should have 5 data. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You should have 5 data here because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the second row. This is the second row. This here from the death of Mara, Jack Lewis, and then 1793, 162 centimeters, 128 centimeters. This, how many data are there? 5 data. So you should have 5 TDs here. Only in the first row you have merged the 2 columns. Only in the first row you have merged the 2 columns. But after that you should have 5 data. Okay, so for this also you should have 5 data, and then finally for this also you should have 5 data. So this is about column span. Remember, this is important from your examinations point of view. They will ask you a question for 6 months. Explain with the help of a program the row span and the column span attribute of the table. Okay, row span and column span attribute of the table they will ask you. So it is, remember, column span is an attribute. It's an attribute to which you assign a value, and this is an attribute of the TH tag or the TD tag. Always you write column span and row span in the TD or TH. You write it always in the TD or TH. You don't write this column span in the table tag. Remember, you don't write column span here. It doesn't make any sense. You should always write column span and row span only in the TH tag or the TD tag. Okay, so this is an example of row span, and the above one is example of table scan, column span. Sorry. So with this, if you want me to quickly execute this program and show it to you, I'll copy this. Let me see if it is possible. I'll just copy that, and then yeah, I remove this till here, pasted. So what I have here is yeah, I think this is correct. Some dots here, I'll remove that. So this is table example. I just go there and refresh this. So you can see that, yeah, because why am I not able to, actually it has merged the two columns, but why am I not able to see this is because there is no border. Now we'll put some border and I will show to you. Border is equals to 1. I give 1 is sufficient. So I go there, I refresh. Now you can see, if you can see this, you have title, artist, year, size. So this two columns. So you can see at bottom there are two columns, but the top one is merged. Top one is merged. So this is column span, merging columns. Similarly, if I take this example of row span, this let it come as a, let it come below this. I want. So I'll put two BR tags here because I want the table to come in the next line. So I pasted that. Okay, and I pasted that row span also. And here also the table, I need some border, otherwise I will not be able to see it. So border is equals to 1 I put. So this should display me an example of row span. So file, save, I come here, refresh. So you can see here, the top one is an example of column span because two columns are merged. And the second example is row span because it has merged the rows here. Okay, so now okay, so after spanning rows and columns, let us go further and try to see what is that additional table elements. Let us see what are the additional table elements that we have got. Remember, these are semantic HTML tags. We have caption tag. Caption, you can, if you want to give a caption to the table, you can use this caption tag. Then you have the T head tag, table heading, then you have T foot and the table body. Okay, so these are additional table elements which we can use in the table. Okay, we can use it for the table. Remember, if you want a footer to the table, you can use the table footer. If you want a header to the table, you can use T header, and you can use T body for the body of the table. Okay, now remember that tables are not always used only for displaying tabular data. Tables are not used only for displaying tabular data. Tables are also used for laying out the content of the HTML page. For example, let us say I want to divide the page into two columns. Basically, I want to divide the page into two columns. In one particular column, I want to place an image. In the other, I want to place some text. If I want something like that, then I can always use a table. Okay, so remember that tables can also be used for layouts. You can also use tables for layouts. What does it mean is that if you want the content of the page to be displayed, remember I told you first only that tables are not only used for displaying tabular data. Most of the times you can say that 90% of the times tables are used for displaying tabular data which is there in the database. Apart from that, tables are also used for layout. I will give you one example here. Okay, I will take you to this folder here. Do I have an image here? Yeah, I have an image here, smiley. And then let us say I want to use this table. Okay, this is table example. I will do one thing. I'll just copy this, Control C, Control V, F2, table example 2. Okay, this is table example 2, and I open this file. Sorry, table example 2, and okay. Now, what I want in this table is I want to use this table as I'm going to use it for layout. I'm going to use this table for layout. How do I use it for layout? I'll just give an example. Table tag, then it should have a tr tag. Let us say I have only one tr, so then I have td/td/tr td/td. So look at this. Look at this. What finally I want to do is I want to place an image here. I want to place an image here, and then beside that I want some text to come. As it is not possible. For example, let us say if I do this, Control X, I remove that file. Okay, temporarily I'm keeping it there. Let us say I want to place an image. How to place an image, you all know. Image source is equals to smiley.jpg. Okay, and beside that, just beside that, I want some paragraph to come. So I have an image, and then after the image, let us say I want some paragraph to come. So I copy some theory. Okay, let us say I copy this theory. I want this theory. So I paste that theory here, and then I want the br tag. Otherwise, it will all come in one line. Okay, so let us say that this is the theory. Okay, some text content. I want this theory to be displayed in the paragraph. I want to come one beside the other. Okay, I want the image to come on one side and this to the other side. So if I go here and if I refresh this, you can see that the image comes here, but this content comes below that. It will not come here at the side. I want this content to come on the side here. I want this content to come on the side here. I don't want it to come one below the other. I don't want this image to come here on the top and then below that I want the content. I want the content to come just beside it. So how do I do this? Like this, it is not possible. So in this case, what I do, I use the table. Okay, I use a table, then I start a tr tag. Okay, and after the tr tag, then I have the td tag. Okay, then I will take this image from here, remove it, put it in this td. Then I will have one more td tag. Then you can see that I'll take this p tag, Control X, and I put it between this td tag. Okay, I hope this is clear. What I do is I start a table tag, then you have a tr, td. You know that td means one column, so your image will get displayed in one column, and the content, this text content entire, will get displayed in the next column. Okay, so after this, I close the tr tag and then I close the table tag. So I save this file, save. I come and refresh. So now you can see that it comes one beside the other. You can see that it comes here and then the content will come beside it, because this is one column, this is one column, and from here to here is another column of the table. So it has only one tr. Now I did not put a border to this. If I put a border to this, you will understand this exactly how tables are used for this. So I write border is equals to 1, and then I come here, I refresh. So you can see that this is how it appears. This is what I have done. Only one tr is there. In one td I have placed the image, in the other td I have placed the text content. But I don't want this border to come, so I remove the border. It doesn't look good, so I remove that. And then I saved it, I refresh, so you can see it comes here. And then if you want that all to come in the center, you know that you can place the center tag, of course. You can place the center tag. Saved it, so you can see that it comes in the center here. Okay. So basically, this is what is meant by using tables for layout. You can use tables for layouts, how you want the layout of the this to be, page to be, the content to be one beside the other, and like that you can use a table for layout. Okay. So this is an example of table footer, table head, where to use the table head, where to use the table footer, where to use the table body. All that is here. I told you, these are semantic tags of the table. Semantic tags of the table. So if I have table, then I can have a caption tag. Inside the caption tag, I can write some caption to the table. You can see 19th century French paintings. You can see that 19th century French paintings come as a caption of the table on the top here. On the top here, you can see it comes. And then you have the title tag, artist tag, year tag. So instead of doing that, then I can have a table heading, table footer you can have, and then table body also you can have. Okay, so this is how you can use the table heading, footer, and the body tags. So this is an example of, I told you, to use tables for layouts. You can see how beautifully they have placed this. They have placed this in one cell, content in another cell. Then one more table they have placed here inside a cell. Inside one cell, another cell they have placed. Inside that, one more table they have created. Inside that, there are 4 cells, and they have placed images like this. So a very good example they have given. You can see this entire code also is over there. Okay. So you can use tables for even laying out the content in the HTML page. You can create such beautiful pages using simple tables only. Then comes the next setting as styling the tables. If let us say you want to style the tables, you want to give some, you can style the border of the table. You want to give it different colors. You can do that. If you want to give different sizes of the border, you can do that. So you can also style the different types of tables. So first, what is the thing that you can style for a table? You can style the border of the table, background color of the table. All that also you can style. Okay, so table borders you can style, of course. Okay, which are the different things that you can style? You can style the width and height of the table, cell spacing, padding, background color, background image. You can even align. Okay, so this is one example of the table border solid 1 black. So you can also specify the style to the table. So if I copy that, if I go to this example of mine, okay, if I refresh this, yeah, there is no border. But if you want border to come, then I have to place the style. So I write style /style, and then in between that I write my style. What type of styling this is? This is embedded styling. Why? Because I've defined the style in the head section, in the style. So wherever there is a table tag, remember this particular style will be applied. Okay, so which is this example? This is table 2 example. So I file, I save this, I go there, I refresh. So you can see now the border. You can see the border of the table. The border of the table. Why? Because you have specified it here. You've said border solid. Okay, if you instead of this solid, if you say dotted, 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 if you say, let us see what will happen. Yeah, you can see actually the dotted, but I don't know whether you are able to see this or no. I don't know whether you are able to see this or no, but this has appeared as dotted, maybe because the size is small. If I say 5, if I say the border to be 5 points, now you can see that it appears like bigger dots. Okay, so you can have dotted border, you can have dashed, DASHED, dashed is another way of specifying. This will come like dashes. Dots means it will come like small circles. Okay, so dashed, dotted, solid, you have these different types of borders that you can specify. This is solid, and you can specify even the background. You can also specify the color to the border. So I've specified red there. You can see now it has appeared as red. Okay, 5 points red. So you can also style. You can give a style to the table. The first that we have learned is you can style the border. You can say whether it should be solid or it should be dashed or it should be dotted. Then you can specify the thickness of the border, 5 points, 2 points, 1 point, depending upon how you want it. What color you want to be the border, you can specify that. Okay, so this is the first thing that we studied. Next, after that, we can do border. Next, you want the TD border to be solid, all that you want. So you can, for one particular thing, if you have a table, inside that table, you don't want all the tables or all the TDs or the TR to have same style. You want different TRs in the same table to have different styles. You can also specify that. You can simply say TR and then you can apply that. Okay, border solid, you can specify it like that. Okay, so it is possible to give different styles to different rows in your table. You want the background color of a particular row to be different. You want the background color of another table TR to be different. You can specify that. You can actually specify that. Okay, by using the styles. So which are the different types of styles we have here? Border is one. The other is what font you want in the table. So in the table tag, you can font size, you can specify font family, you can specify. Okay, border top, of course. If you want the top of the border to have a different color, a different size, all that you can specify. So for this particular, you can see the output is over here. Okay, the caption, if you want the caption to have a different style, you can specify that here, text size, all that. So basically what we are learning is how to give style to a table. Which are the different things you can style in a table? First is border, second is font content. If you want the content of the table to have different font, color, size, family, you can even specify it like this. Okay, so you have font size, you have font family, you have border top, border bottom, border top, border bottom. You want different sizes, you can also specify that. Okay, then of course you have background color. Okay, background color is very important. For example, let us say I copy this background color, control C, and I go here and I specify it here. Okay, so I've said the table's background color should be this. I've said that in my table. So I go file, save, I go here, I refresh this, so you can see that it has got a different color there. Now you'll ask me a question, why is that this particular did not get, this also has got the background color, but since this entire thing is an image, the white color itself is part of the image, so that's why you are not able to see the background color for this. But there are two TDs are there. The entire table has got the background, color of gray color. Okay, if you want that background color to be some other color, you can specify it here, GB. Okay, now this will be green in color. So you can see it is completely green in color. So 00FF00 is green color. Okay. So it comes in green color and so on. So you can specify even the background color to the table by using this particular style. So you have a list of all the styles here which you can give to the table. You can just go through that. Okay, so that is basically the end of tables, giving styles, creating tables on HTML pages, how to use tables for layouts and all that. Now I will be starting with forms in the next class. Okay, in the next class I will be starting with forms. Okay, so that's about it for today. If there is any doubt, you please note them down and you can ask me in the next class. Okay, bye bye. Have a nice day, all of you.